The following is a presentation of ESPN on ABC.
A'ja Wilson, the reigning MVP, getting ready to lead Las Vegas here in Dallas before she heads off to Tokyo for the Olympics. And Arike Ogunbowale, always ready to go, always ready to score. She is an all-star this year. Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA, presented by Google. And we indeed are in Arlington, right outside of Dallas, Texas, as the Aces get ready to take on Dallas for the second time this season before the big month-long Olympic break hits after today's action. And we welcome you to Arlington. Pam Ward along with LaChina Robinson. Holly Rowe will join us shortly. Now, unfortunately, Liz Cambage will not play for Las Vegas. She's with the Australian Olympic team, but hey, the Aces still have a lot of talent.
Yeah, the Las Vegas Aces are the best scoring team in the WNBA, and it has everything to do with their depth. Without Liz Cambage in the lineup, they still have 5 aces averaging double figures. Any one of these players can go for a 20-piece on any given night, and it all starts with the reigning league MVP in A'ja Wilson.
Yeah, Plum and Hamby coming off the bench, averaging in double figures. And for Dallas, a couple of really good young players.
Yeah, the young and exciting Dallas Wings are the talk of the WNBA this season. Tons of youth, but also a lot of talent, led by first-time All-Stars Arike Ogunbowale's unlimited scoring ability and one of the most dynamic scoring and facilitating power forwards in the league in Satou Sabally.
And for more, let's head over to Holly Rowe.
Well, you guys are right. This is a star-studded game here today. There are 6 Olympians or All-Stars in this game, and 2 of the brightest in the WNBA right now are going head-to-head. Arike Ogunbowale is on a 50-game double-figure scoring streak. We know she will score early and often in this game. The only player that's doing better than her in the league is Diana Taurasi. A'ja Wilson also on a very long scoring streak. Arike with 57, A'ja with 50 double-doubles this season. 2 of the best and brightest, the future of the WNBA heading off today.
Both will be in Las Vegas on Wednesday on ESPN for the All-Star game. A'ja Wilson with the Olympic team. Arike, an All-Star. Charlie Collier, the #1 overall pick this year, jumping center against Kia Stokes, who is starting in place of Cambage at center for Vegas. Ogunbowale gets the deck, appears to be okay after giving it off, and then Sabally gets a block by Stokes.
And right away, you saw the defensive matchup for Vegas. Raquana Williams is going to guard Arike Ogunbowale, and A'ja Wilson will be guarding Satou Sabally.
Wow, Wilson and Sabally, what a matchup that is. A'ja in her 4th year already, and there you see them on the low block. Chelsea Gray, a terrific pickup, coming over from LA as a free agent, giving Vegas a premier point guard. Here's Ogunbowale. Jackie Young drawing the defensive assignment. Now a switch. Arike shoots anyway, a little bit too strong. And then Stokes thought she got her second block, instead called for fouling Collier. These 2 teams meeting for the 2nd time this season. Vegas won on their home floor in mid-June. Collier making her 18th start of the season, averaging just under 4 points per game. Had a double-double in her first career game.
Vicki Johnson thinks it's important to put size in the middle against this Vegas team. Yes, they don't have Liz Cambage, but they have Kia Stokes. They bring De'Erica Hamby off of the bench. They can put a really big lineup on the floor. And don't forget about Jisoo Park as well.
That's right, Park at 6'5" will be participating for South Korea in the upcoming Olympics. Young, whose shooting efficiency has gotten better every year, fouled by Ogunbowale.
And what you notice right away is that Dallas's defense is sagging off of Jackie Young so that she can't get that entry pass into A'ja Wilson.
And there's Vicki Johnson, first season as the Wings head coach, and well known in the WNBA, was an assistant at San Antonio and Vegas before getting the opportunity.
And it's just awesome to see what Vicki has done with this young team. She played 13 seasons in the WNBA, and she's coached for a total of 11. That's 24 of the 25 years of this league's existence. She's been a part of it.
Raquana Williams, another one of the off-season acquisitions. Sabally gets blocked, this time by Asia Wilson.
Really solid defense from the Aces. Raquana Williams keeping Arike Agumbawale from touching the paint. And then on the kick out here to Sabally, Asia Wilson using that length. And that's what Bill Laimbeer wanted to see from his team. Coming off of 2 losses, he wanted to see them get after it on the defensive end here in the first quarter.
Collier got a good look over Stokes and delivered. And now here's Mariah Jefferson, who's stuck by Raquana Williams. Everybody getting the block so far for Vegas.
Well, Bill Laimbeer was advocating for Raquana Williams to be on the WNBA all-defensive team. She's making a good case early, but good pass for the shot. Satou Sabally is underrated in terms of her passing ability, how she sees the floor at 6'4", does a nice job of moving on the pass.
Collier with a little bit of space. If Stokes is able to score, good start for the rookie.
And that's what you want to see. No fear. Hey!
Williams left it a little bit short. Sabally with the follow. Can't get it to go. Good pace so far early on. Here's Gray slicing through the lane. Jefferson over Wilson. How about that?
Well, Jefferson's got a lot of confidence in her shot this season. Coming in healthy. She's had 2 major knee surgeries. Shooting it at career high from long range. She is the steady point guard on this team when she's on the floor.
That's 5'6", shooting over 6'4", over Asia Wilson. Dallas out to this 8-2 start. Jefferson again finding a little bit of space. Young off balance. Sabally chases it down.
You mentioned at the top that Vegas is the #1 scoring team in the WNBA. They've missed a couple in transition that they would normally make.
Wilson working on Sabally, called for the personal foul.
Yeah, Satou Sabaly's got to be really careful with the hands. She's bringing the hands down on the ball and on Wilson. All she has to do is turn and go up, and that's going to be a foul. You got to get your hands up and let your feet do the work.
Sabally 2nd overall in the draft last year. Wilson drives and finishes with her offhand.
With the right hand, with a powerful move by Wilson. Bill Laimbeer said she was very disappointed and embarrassed with her performance against Minnesota, so she's coming out with a vengeance.
Yeah, the Aces coming off back-to-back losses to Minnesota, and before that to Phoenix in overtime. Kayla Thornton on the run. Nice, terrific pass from Agumbawale to get it into Collier.
Moving the basketball was one of Vicki Johnson's keys for this game. She said, we are at our best when we can get into the 20s with our assists. And she put a number on it, Pam. She said 22 assists or better.
That's very specific. Now Asia uses that left hand.
Wilson going to work early on Satou Sabally. We'll have to watch to see how Dallas adjusts if she's able to continue to just get the ball and score at will.
Just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Shot clock dying. Jefferson missed everything. Wilson comes away with it. Asia able to bring up the ball all on her own. Wale slowing things down. Enrique was the scoring champion last year, scoring 23 points per game in the bubble. Jefferson challenges Wilson, this time off the bounce.
Vegas is really leaving Mariah Jefferson, and she's been opportunistic looking for a shot.
Asia turnaround got hit by Sabli. That's 2 fouls on Satu as we hit our first timeout.
Pace is on the young wing side. Dallas, now they're running on the fast break for the score, up early.
The WNBA on ABC is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. In part by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Gatorade Zero, all the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Welcome back to Dallas, where Asia Wilson, the reigning MVP, is off to a good start for the Aces, and that is important because she has rebounded from a difficult game against Minnesota. Just 4 of 15 from the field, not a typical night from her, but she did other things, played good defense, 6 rebounds. Bill Lambier gave her a talk and said, you know, we need more from you, and she will be more consistent. Asia is very good bouncing back after difficult games. This young player has so much pride. Told you at the start of the show, 50 consecutive games scoring in double figures. That is pride and consistency, and that's what Asia Wilson is built with.
Yeah, absolutely, Holly. And, you know, you got to credit Minnesota. And they are playing excellent basketball right now. Cheryl Reeve has her team primed on both ends of the floor, but it's also an adjustment for Asia Wilson with Liz Cambage out. Defenses are able to focus in and key in on her in different ways, add more size to how they defend her.
Wilson now with 6 points. Vegas missed their first 5 field goals of the game and now have cut it to a 4-point deficit. And De'Erica Handy, number 5, in for Vegas, the super sub, but Thornton scores. Handy back-to-back 6th Player of the Year awards in the WNBA. Raquana Williams elevates.
Elevates is the right word for Raquana Williams. That is what makes her jump shot so special, is how she can rise and fire over the arms of the defense.
So there's Williams, who is in her 9th year out of Miami, was with Tulsa last 4 years, and the last 4 years in Los Angeles. At one point, a WNBA record 51 points scored in her career that was broken by her teammate Liz Cambage. He had 53 in a game against New York a couple of years ago. And Cambage not available. The Australian team already assembled in Las Vegas. Alicia Gray found Thornton.
Outstanding vision by Gray. She had the outstretched arms of Asia Wilson closing in on her.
Now Izzy Harrison drawing the defensive assignment on Wilson, and Harrison fouls.
Well, Asia Wilson got Alicia Gray once, but then she saw the cutting Kayla Thornton, who moves very well without the basketball. Again, going back to that assist number being so important for this young Dallas squad.
Asia back at the free throw line where she is 2 for 2. Vegas as a team gets to the line almost 24 times per game. As we take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule tonight on CBS Sports. How about this? The Mercury and the Storm, and then Wednesday, 7 Eastern, the game. It is the WNBA All-Star game. The All-Stars taking on Team USA before they head to Tokyo. That starts at 7 Eastern on Wednesday.
Pam, you and I had the privilege of calling that Seattle-Phoenix game the other night. What a performance by the Mercury. Brittany Griner jumping into the MVP conversation.
Well, Alicia Gray has a nifty assist and a bucket her last 2 trips down the floor. That was a long 2. Yeah, Phoenix playing well even without Diana Taurasi. Another good pass. Gray got Thornton on the run, but she couldn't finish. A little bit of contact, but no call. Here's Kelsey Plum. So good to have her back. Missed last year after tearing her Achilles tendon, and her numbers are up, contributing off the bench. Oh, Hamby! Got the second one.
What a move. What a move. Kept that pivot foot down, but then no one comes to box her out. No one gets to the glass.
First bucket for De'Erica, who is an all-star, gets to play on her home floor on Wednesday night.
Hamby is really good using her pivot foot, and she saw 2 defenders. She saw one. She thought she just had Enrique, but made the adjustment with Harrison and gets her rebound. She has been really tenacious on the glass in recent games, but you just know the energy that comes with De'Erica Hamby whenever she touches the floor.
And she has been a terrific addition to this franchise. Meanwhile, some foul trouble. Both Sabally and Isabel Harrison have 2 fouls trying to guard A'ja Wilson. Now Thornton is out on her. Chelsea Gray keeps it alive and then gets blocked. Allery got a hand on it. Wilson picks up the Gray miss.
It's going to be interesting to see how Dallas adjusts without Satou Sabally and without Izzy Harrison in the game. I mean, Satou Sabally can stretch the floor consistently. She's a great passer. But Mabry into the game has given Dallas a scoring punch this season. And Alicia Gray, as you can see so far, has been great.
Ty Harris back rims it. Rebound collected by Hamby, who brings it up on her own. Plum guarded by Mabry, and now let's see what Allery can do against Wilson, and the answer is foul her. So defending without fouling is an issue.
You do not want to put Vegas on the free throw line, and Dallas also allows 38 points per game in the paint, and that is the 2nd most in the WNBA. Their size is young. Bella Allery, Charlie Collier, a lot of the length that they can put out on the floor consistently at the 5 position are players that don't have as much experience when you're matching up with an A'ja Wilson.
Yeah, that's tough for any matchup. Allery in her 2nd year out of Princeton. Charlie Collier, the rookie who actually came out a year early, had another year of eligibility left and came out. She's from Houston. There's Bella Allery, who her dad, Mark Allery, people of a certain generation remember him playing at Duke.
Girl dad.
Yeah.
They like to get out in the backyard and go at it a little bit.
Bella. Now Gray. Allery left open. Puts it up with her left and got it to go.
So you got to be happy if you're Vicki Johnson with the way that Charlie Collier and Bella Allery have responded in their minutes.
And now the shot clock is off after the steal. Mabry always looking to shoot. Almost pulled the trigger over there. Here's Harris. They got to go. And a lot of contact. No foul call on that? No foul call on that. Dallas up 5 after 1.
Back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA presented by Google. Here with the Aces, A'ja Wilson. And A'ja, you guys haven't lost back-to-back games all year. How did that change the mindset coming in today? Like, we got to stop this slide.
Yeah, I mean, it wakes you up. Losing does that. You know, you have to grow from it. And that's what we're doing. But it definitely was a wake-up call for me. I can't come out and have a showing like I did in Minnesota for my team. That's unacceptable. So I have to hold myself accountable so then I can hold my teammates accountable.
We see your aggressive mindset. You've already put 5 fouls on the Dallas Wings by yourself. How is that helping you?
It's helping me tremendously. I mean, I got to continue to be aggressive, see what they're going to give me, and go from there. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to make the best shot possible for my teammates and for myself.
Thank you, A'ja.
Yeah.
And what A'ja Wilson has done in getting to the free throw line is not just give her team a punch on the offensive end, but she has compromised the lineup of the Dallas Wings. And Vicki Johnson has had to put some lineups out there that maybe she didn't intend to in the first half.
Allery that time driving on Hamby for her second basket. She is averaging only about 1.5 points per game, but pressed into action because of the foul trouble for Dallas, trying to guard Wilson. Height advantage for Hamby.
Really good two-man game between Hamby and Raquana Williams. And Awak Kawir decided not to help in the post, and that was all buckets for Hamby.
That's right. Awak Kawir is in the game with the basketball. The rookie out of Finland, second overall for Dallas after Charlie Collier. Only averaging about 5 minutes per game. And Jisoo Park for Vegas has checked in. Mabry bottled up. Shot clock winding down. Kawir just a little bit too strong, but a great job. Boy, Alicia Gray has been very active today.
She impacts the stat sheet in so many different ways, but one thing Vicki Johnson said to us is her defense and her offensive rebounding are most important, and that offensive rebound was a good one for Gray.
She does draw defensive assignments, very difficult ones, but that time she forced Hamby to go out of bounds, so the turnover gives it back to Dallas. Bill Lambier, fourth year in charge of the Aces ever since they moved from San Antonio. Had the best record in the league last year, but lost in the finals to Seattle. And Kawir, how about that?
The length of Kawir. What a physical specimen.
Plum comes down and answers, and Kawir is just a puppy. She's only 19. She won't turn 20 until August of this year.
Seeing her up close, I mean, she has incredible wingspan. She's long. Nice take to the rack by Plum.
Yeah, Kelsey Plum coming back from that Achilles injury, averaging 13.5 points per game, which is the highest for any bench player in the league. Chelsea Gray said, I blocked it, but the officials say she fouled Alric.
The vision of Alicia Gray, once again. She had 3 defenders closing in on that pass and thread the needle.
That is number 12, Chelsea Gray. That is her first personal foul. First team foul against Las Vegas.
So Alicia Gray affecting this game in several different ways. Here's Allery. Experience AT&T WNBA All-Star like never before with WNBA All Access Pass, the new augmented reality experience for fans. Download the WNBA app to get exclusive access to live events behind the scenes throughout All-Star. She'll be there.
Yes, she will. My mother has discovered the League Pass app.
Is this a good thing?
No.
Okay.
She's watching games from a month and a half ago, asking me questions about things that have already happened and are in the past.
Well, must be great if she could ask you about a game she thinks is coming up and you could give her a prediction and show how brilliant you are.
I mean, you know, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think Asia's going to go off for 30 in this one.
My mom's too good for that.
Lynette. Kai Harris bringing it up for Dallas. Both teams trying to get a win before the month-long Olympic break. Wale has been rather quiet.
See 2 bodies defensively headed towards Wale on that shot.
Yeah, Rike has not scored. She's missed all 5 of her shots.
And the biggest thing is they've kept her out of the middle of the floor. They've kept her from getting plays off of the bounce.
This is the 3rd straight game that she's had trouble getting her shot off. Asia just sticks with it.
Wow, powers it up. Lost it, gathered it, powered it. I love this matchup right here. Marina Mabry, Jersey tough. The workaholic, as Bill Lambier calls her, Kelsey Plum. But Asia Wilson got bodies around, 3 defenders, doesn't matter.
Harris coming in for, or sitting down, pardon me, for Kayla Thornton. Yeah, Mabry and Plum, a couple of hard workers guarding each other, or checking each other now. Mabry tried to get it to Kawir. Wale bails him out. Steps back on Hamby. Yeah. crowd was ready to explode after that move, and she delivered. Her first points of the game. Kelsey Plum with a 3. Vegas has hit all 6 shots from the floor in this quarter.
Plum's playing with a lot of confidence. You mentioned coming off of that Achilles injury. She got into great shape. Bill Lambier said she's a workaholic. I mean, she is just really all about her body and eating the right things. She's playing at a high level.
Yeah, great hustle play, but couldn't save it. And Thornton for 3.
It's an important shot for Kayla Thornton. Playing more at the 3 position this season, but with Satu Sabli out, she has to be a floor spacer.
Sabli been sitting for a while with 2 personal fouls, trying to guard Wilson. Plum drew a foul.
We've been waiting for it. Arike Agumbawale getting in on the action on the offensive end. Loses De'Erica Hamby by a mile with the step back off the bounce. Oh my.
With about 6.5 seconds left, threw up a prayer.
I didn't even realize that we had so much time on the clock.
Agumbawale with 2, throws it up, and 3 goes!
Kelsey Plum has been the Energizer Bunny the Las Vegas Aces needed off the bench. 7 points in 9 minutes, and this is consistent with the tear she has been on in the last 3 games, averaging 17 points a game. You guys talked about her work ethic. She is a continual worker. And I asked her, why is she in the best shape of her life coming off that Achilles tear? And she said, well, I saw Sue Bird in a bikini. And when I saw Sue Bird at 40 years old in a bikini, I said, what am I even doing with my life? She found out who Sue Bird's trainer was. She signed up for the athlete blueprint with Susan Borchard, and she is on the Sue Bird plan. It has transformed her body. She said, I've never looked or felt better. And all it took was seeing Sue Bird in a bikini to get her into this kind of shape.
Can we all get on the Sue Bird plan, Holly?
I keep trying, and dang it, it's just not taking.
What inspiration.
Wow.
If you've seen Sue on the cover of Time magazine, she looks outstanding as she will go for her 5th gold medal in the Olympics. That's inspiration for you.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll turn 41 in October. Kelsey Plum coming back from the injury. That's the first miss for Kelsey in this game. Hamby kept it alive. No look pass from Gray to Hamby.
What a finish by Hamby over Collier. No box out from the Wings.
Now Plum. Agumbawale is able to get around everybody. Shot wouldn't go in.
Boy, but you see how shifty she is off of the bounce. I mean, her quickness and how her handle and how she's able to move laterally, and so fun to watch.
Special. Only Simone Augustus and Cynthia Cooper scored 1,500 points in fewer games than Agumbawale. Collier, a little bit of space over Stokes, left it short. Stokes starting for Cambage this afternoon. Asia left open.
Another offensive rebound for Vegas.
Yeah, Stokes. Oh, nice pass. Hamby to Wilson with the finish.
And that's going to be 3 on Satu Sabli. She is giving the young Dallas Wing a lesson early in this one today. Just great read by Hamby, but also the awareness by Wilson to cut to the rim. And Satu Sabli, knowing she's in that foul trouble, Vegas getting it to Wilson and getting Sabli back to the bench.
Yeah, Sabli was not in very long before she picked up her 3rd foul. Satu picked up 2 fouls in just over 5.5 minutes, came back in and picked up foul number 3.
And this is when De'Erica Hamby is at the 3 position, the big lineup for the Aces.
Agumbawale stepping back over Plum, a little bit of contact after the fact. Thornton gets it. Agumbawale blocked by Stokes.
Yeah, a couple of possessions by Enrique Agumbawale trying to force the action a bit, and the defense is following her.
Tell you what, De'Erica Hamby and Kelsey Plum coming in off the bench for Vegas. I mean, Plum might get 6th Player of the Year rested away from Hamby, but how about co-6 Players of the Year? They're terrific.
Man. I mean, it's the level of aggressiveness. Both of them come into the game with a mindset that not only do they pick up the pace when Hamby and Plum get into the game, but the physicality seems to increase as well.
It was a 9-0 Vegas run. Took their first lead, but they went up 34-32.
And Dallas has got to get back to moving the ball. It's one thing Vicki Johnson puts an emphasis on is one-on-one basketball is not going to win us a lot of games. And this young team, they get excited. They've got to have discipline on the offensive end and look for good shots.
Hamby calling for it. Good box out that time by Alicia Gray to keep Asia Wilson off the glass. Agumbawale with the Collier screen. Plum got it taken away by Harris. Dallas had numbers momentarily. Thornton throws in a 3. Kayla Thornton now in the double figures, leading her team in scoring with 10. Oh my, De'Erica Hamby again.
And that hasn't been her shot this season. She has struggled from long range this year. That's one of the aspects of her game that makes her special, that she can play at the 3 and hit the 3, but also when she's at the power forward, she can stretch the floor.
Yeah, only hitting 21% from distance coming into this game. Just her 7th 3 of the season. In this, their 21st game. Shot clock winding down for Gray. Fouled just as the shot clock was expiring.
She stuck with it. Aces in control with some work from De'Erica Hamby. Nice cut from the reigning MVP.
And then dive hard, okay? Just got to be more aggressive if that's possible, okay? And don't back down. Keep being aggressive.
Time now for Anything is Possible, presented by Deloitte.
It is the passing of the Dallas Wings. Vicki Johnson said, look, we got to move the ball. We got to share the ball. The assist is important, and they did that early in the game. Got to get back to it. They had some stagnant offensive possessions. But Vicki Johnson very focused on this young team in a couple of key areas. Number one is sharing the ball, trusting each other, putting an emphasis on defense because that's who she was as a player. Very, very tough on the defensive end, but also finishing games. And that's what's hurt Dallas a lot this season is they have not finished games strong. Fourth quarters, they've had some leads. Obviously, the youth factor comes into play, but I just love her patience level with this young group.
Yeah, it's really exciting, the future for this team. Unfortunately, Satu Sabli limited today because of foul trouble. Kelsey Plum with another bucket. How about Plum and Hamby combining to score 20 of their 27 points in this quarter?
What I think people forget is that Kelsey Plum was a #1 pick in 2017, and she has had to climb her way back in this.
Agumbawale, her second bucket of the game. That was a 3. Kelsey, the #1 overall pick out of the University of Washington. Hamby, nifty footwork, and she drew another foul.
I don't know how she got that off. I mean, it was the leaner into the basket with the contact. Hamby just sized up Collier, has the foot speed advantage on the spin, but to find an angle with that left hand going left, and that is not her dominant hand. Kissed it off the glass.
State Farm halftime report is coming up. contact lens gets popped back in by Hamby. They will preview the All-Star game coming up on Wednesday. And yes, Team USA going for yet another gold medal. What would be their 7th in a row?
I believe you're right, Pam. Dominance.
This has been the Hamby and Plum show in the second quarter. They have combined to score more points than Dallas in this quarter. Vicki Johnson takes a timeout. It is time for today's Power Moments, presented by Beats. Asia Wilson doing some work.
Yeah, Asia Wilson has been fantastic in the first half of this game. Was disappointed with her performance against Minnesota. Well, she's more than making up with it for it. She's been moving well without the ball. She's gotten almost the entire front line of Dallas in foul trouble. She's gone to the free throw line 7 times already in this first half for 14 points.
And shows that enthusiasm that we've been used to seeing. And Asia going to Tokyo with Team USA. Kelsey Plum also going on the 3-on-3 team. And yeah, Chelsea Gray is going to be there along with Asia on Team USA.
Love to see some of these young faces getting their first crack at the Olympics, and can't imagine how exciting that is to also be going with your teammates the way that Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray will be. Plum will be playing alongside Alicia Gray, Stephanie Dolson, and Kaylee Samuelson on the 3-on-3 team.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting event. First time that has been in the Olympics. But right now, this second quarter, Hamby and Plum scored 23 of the 30 points for Vegas in this quarter. The Aces have hit 71% of their shots to go from 5 down to 5 up. Boy, Alicia Gray, she's just so steady.
It doesn't do a lot of talking. She lets her game speak for itself.
One of the more versatile players in the league. Shot clock winding down for Williams. Oh, that's a foul on Gray, who thought she had good defensive position. Gray is one of the better perimeter defenders in the league.
You know, I didn't see a lot of contact there. I mean, minimal contact. Yeah. But I think when you step into the space of the shooter, you put yourself in position to be called for that foul, and that's what Gray did there.
And Williams, Raquana leaning in a little bit, drawing the foul. And Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and ESPN Deportes. Chris Paul and the Suns up 2-0 on the Bucks. Coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7:30 Eastern. You can stream it live on the ESPN app. Chris Paul, Dearica Hamby, a couple of Wake Forest people playing some basketball.
A couple that know what they're doing out there, you know. I'll stay over here on the sideline.
You're doing all right. Wale with time running out. It's Gray. Oh, Alicia Gray has had a terrific first half, just left it short. But boy, what a second quarter for the Aces, who come from 5 down to take the lead. They outscored Dallas by 11. It's a 6-point advantage for Vegas at the half as we get you to the State Farm halftime report. Asia Wilson doing Asia Wilson things. You are watching ESPN's coverage of the WNBA, presented by Google, getting ready for second half action. And during the half, that's Scooby the Chihuahua entertaining the people here, as Las Vegas is leading at 48-42. And this last day before we hit the Olympic break, Pam Ward along with LaChina Robinson. Holly Rowe is with us as well. Boy, it really was the first and second quarters very different. Las Vegas's bench really making a huge impact.
Yeah, we started this game talking about the Las Vegas Aces and all of the depth they have. 6 players averaging double figures on the season, but the second quarter was all about Kelsey Plum and De'Erica Hamby off of the pine. Watch this read by Kelsey Plum with the offense lifted. She goes back door, and De'Erica Hamby also making a great read here. She did some defensive attention, splits it, and it's the second effort. That is what Kelsey Plum and De'Erica Hamby bring to the floor. It is that tenacious, all-out effort, the pace, the physicality, 25 bench points just between those two players.
And in fact, the 25 bench points period is 2 more than their starters combined. And they're third in the league in bench points. And right now they're at 25. Holly Rowe is the third member of our team.
Well, guys, I was just listening into the Dallas Wings huddle, and Vicki Johnson had a clear message. It's about what we do. And what she wants to see more of here in the second half is Arike Ogunbowale getting involved. They drew up the first play for Arike, just 2 of 10 in the first half. But the best thing about her, she has a short memory and a long shot. I have no doubt she'll get it going here in the second half.
I call it shooter's amnesia, Holly. And Angel McCautry, who is in studio, might know a little bit about that. Angel could miss her first 10, not know it, and make her next 10 shots, ending the night shooting 50% from the field. You got to be able to turn it around quick. Keep shooting.
Well, and Sabally is someone that Dallas really missed in the first half. Picked up 3 personals in just over 6 minutes and did not score. Satu usually contributes 13 points and 6 boards.
And her assist making is where I think they really miss her the most. We started this game talking about the importance of ball movement for the Dallas offense, and that didn't happen as much in the second quarter, and I think Satu Sabally being back on the floor will help with that.
And all that foul trouble, Isabel Harrison also picked up 2 fouls in just 2.5 minutes. Bella Allery picked up a foul. And that's all trying to defend Asia Wilson. Sabally back on her, playing with the 3 personals. Chelsea Gray can't get it to go. Wilson trying to block Sabally, but this time she's the one who's called for the foul.
And what you're watching for, if you're Vicki Johnson with Satu Sabally, is how she plays with these 3 fouls. Can she still stay aggressive and not be afraid of picking up an offensive foul? Can she stay after it on the defensive end? I mean, this is an important few minutes to start the third quarter for Sabally.
And pardon me, that foul was not on Asia Wilson. Instead, it is Kia Stokes who has picked up her 3rd personal foul. Stokes didn't take a shot in the first half, but still made an impact with a season-high 3 block shots.
How about Kia Stokes? Only 3 games under her belt with the Vegas Aces and already in the starting lineup. Liz Cambage leaves. She hadn't even really got comfortable, and her name gets called.
Yep, Cambage with the Australian national team. They are training in Vegas before they head to Tokyo. Gray will off-balance shot. Her 2nd bucket of the game. Yeah, Kia Stokes cut by the Liberty on June 30th and then signed by the Aces a couple of days later. Ogunbowale just shakes her head coming back.
That was halfway down.
Juana Williams with the miss. Charlie Collier getting the start. Johnson getting some more length into the starting lineup. Sabally over Wilson, still looking for her first field goal. Gray off balance. Stokes tried to tap it in. It looks like they are making a concerted effort to get Sabally involved offensively.
And right away, you see why it's difficult to guard Satu Sabally. We saw her take an outside shot with her left hand. That time she drove and took a shot with her right hand. She actually can use both hands very well. She's left and right-handed. And so when you're defending her, you never know which way she's going to go or which hand she's going to shoot with.
Ambidextrous. Sabally very Storied career at the University of Oregon. Born in New York, family moved to Berlin. Actually was on the Germany 3-on-3 team that failed to qualify for the Olympics. But boy, what a high ceiling she has in her career.
Nikki Johnson said she could see her being an MVP one day in this league.
See, Wilson slipped away from her, and that time Sabally very smart. Once she got the ball under there, she didn't even try to defend because she can't afford a fourth foul.
And did Asia Wilson check her footwork after that bucket? We may have to go back and look at that. She did something at the end of that play.
Yeah, she did something a little Asia-like.
Always having fun.
That's thrown towards Hamby, who's not in the game. Both of these teams trying to snap little two-game losing skids before they hit the month-long Olympic break. Jackie Young calmly puts it in.
Just a much improved skill set for Jackie Young. She has grown so much in her short few years in the WNBA.
First overall pick in 2019. Her shooting percentage is way up from last year. The lead is now 9. Timeout in Dallas.
The WNBA on ABC is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports.
In just her second season in the league, Satou Sabally is a WNBA All-Star, and boy, quite a journey for the University of Oregon graduate. Born in New York, lived in the Republic of Gambia, also in Berlin, does represent Germany and on their 3-on-3 team, and was a terrific player on that great Oregon team. And second overall pick in last year's draft. Satou Sabally, so much talent. For more on her, let's head over to Holly Rowe.
We actually call her a unicorn. She's just too magical to be true, but she is. Satou Sabally can do it all on the court, but actually entered the WNBA a year early so she could help provide financially for her family back in Berlin. That is true love for you. She was a crime law and society with a minor in legal studies major at Oregon. I think she'll either run for chancellor of Berlin or become an all-star. This young lady can do anything her mind is set to, and she is just one of the most magical players here in the WNBA.
And I think the thing we forget, Holly, is she's left a year of eligibility on the table. So last season was actually her senior year in college, but it was her first year in the WNBA. So she is even younger than what may appear, and already acts to be a leader and already an all-star in this league.
Why not be both Chancellor of Germany and an all-star? She could do it both. She could be the next Angela Merkel, right?
Or the next Zaila Avant-Garde. There you go.
The spelling bee champion who has all those
Anna Hooper.
Guinness records. Mo Jefferson with a couple of buckets here for Dallas. Led by 5 after the first quarter. Now the Hamby back in the game has already scored. Jackie Young with a couple of buckets here. Mabry has her shot blocked by Wilson.
Asia Wilson has contested a lot of jump shots here this afternoon.
Yeah, he's in the thick of things, contesting for that rebound.
If you're a guard, that's the kind of post player you want on a switch. One that's going to get out and guard that jump shot and take care of your defensive assignment.
And now Isabel Harrison joins Satou Sabally in the 3 personal foul club, trying to guard Wilson. Izzy has just picked up her 3rd, playing with Sabally in this lineup. Young, that's a nice hesitation to get Gray off her.
Hanging Jackie Young. And that's what stood out. I mean, when she was selected number 1 overall in the draft, everyone talked about just how she already had a pro body, strong, quick, athletic, diverse in her skill set.
Averaging 12.5 points per game. Terrific post passer as well. Chelsea Gray finishes with her left hand.
Yeah, Chelsea Gray had a couple roll off that she would normally make. Gets that one to go.
Chelsea just 3 of 10 from the floor. Jefferson has been hot in this quarter. Oh, Jefferson has 8 points in this third quarter. Jackie Young trying to match it.
I'm here for it. Some up and down, a lot of scoring. Both of these teams are very gifted on the offensive end.
Jefferson knew that was off, followed her shot, but Young beat her to it. Head up, finds Gray. Boy, Hamby. It is time now for today's Did You Know, presented by Google. For today's search, we want to know who has the most WNBA All-Star appearances? Which player has been to the most All-Star games?
I'm going with Sue Bird.
Well, she's played a long time, and she's darn good.
I think Tamika Catchings had the record for a little bit, and then I believe Sue Bird came through.
I'll let people go to Google, or the Google, as some people say, to find out the answer. Hamby back at the free throw line. Hamby and Plum on the floor again together. They were terrific, scoring in tandem. 25 points in the first half, 23 of them in the second quarter alone. Gray off balance, got it in this foul.
The focus, the finish, the toughness on that one by Alicia Gray. Gets off of the bounce and really gathers it. Another lefty on the floor in this game, but just gathers it and finds the strength through contact to get that one up. That's right. Asia Wilson's a lefty. Kelsey Plum's a lefty. Let's start counting them up.
Alicia, we already talked about. Sably is ambidextrous, so you'll probably claim her.
She's sometimey lefty.
Jackie Young got hit on the arm. Harrison, got to be careful here. Nope, they got her. Harrison called for the technical foul after protesting that call.
Yeah, anytime you bounce the ball once and then bounce it back without looking, kind of went towards the official, that's going to get you a technical foul. And even though Izzy Harrison isn't typically the player that would do a lot of drawing with the officials or pick up a tech, she's very passionate, feels strongly about some of the calls out here today. But this is something that this Dallas team has gotten in trouble with. Is technical fouls.
Yeah, controlling their emotions. A lot of young players on this team, as you mentioned. Harrison, a veteran, however. Kelsey Plum missed the free throw, which is unusual for her. She was the second best free throw shooter in the league at 95% behind Kayla McBride. Now Jackie Young shooting from the shooting foul. Harrison stays in the game with the 4 personals. Jackie Young has hit all 4 of her shots in this quarter.
Dallas has got to get a good offensive possession here. Get the momentum shift going the other way.
The Thornton just has it grabbed. Young, boy, Jackie Young coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, you see her defensive versatility. We saw her with the assignment of Alicia Gray, then she's on Thornton. You can move her around. Not only can she play 1, 2, 3 on the offensive end, but she could guard 1 through 3 on defense.
Her versatility, one of the reasons why she was picked first overall in 2019. Las Vegas with that string of overall #1 picks. Plum was first in 2017, Asia Wilson in 2018, and then a year later they got Jackie Young. How about 3 in a row for Lucky Bill Lambier?
Oh yeah, I mean they got draft picks on this roster.
Was the first overall pick in 2009, who should be playing We're happy to have her in the studio, but we miss her out here on the floor. Angel tore her right ACL and is not going to be able to play this season.
Yeah, and that's changed this team. I mean, that's why you see Derica Hamby playing minutes at the 3. That's why it's important for Jackie Young and Raquana Williams to be able to contribute on the perimeter. But there's nothing like Angel McCoughtry. Just a prolific scorer in her time in this league, and she'll be back, no doubt.
Asia liked that one too. Made a nice little face after she hit that shot.
Yeah, we need to put Asia on post-shot making watch.
Yeah, we need an Asia cam. Wilson got in front of Sabali's shot, and then look at the way she runs the floor. Asia Wilson. There's your MVP. Makes the defensive play and then runs like a deer to finish on the other end. Wow.
Well, Asia Wilson talked about being upset with her performance against Minnesota. She is making up for that and more in Dallas. The arsenal of shots with the mid-range. She can contest shot, gets the block, gets out on the run. She's the first player down the floor. It's the continuous effort of Wilson that's taken over this game.
Holly has more on Asia Wilson.
Well, Asia Wilson, just the bright young star in this league that we love watching. She's got so much fun to her personality that comes out in her game. Whether she's obsessed with Uno, doing karaoke, doing TikToks. She said she's sick on the microphone, but I think she's even better on the TikTok. She's just started her own candle company, Burnt Wax Candles, that I've gotten rave reviews on. People are loving that you can check on her social media. But, you know, she has got so much stage presence on the court, off the court, everywhere she goes. She's just a delight to watch. And I'm just telling you, if you're sleeping on her TikToks, you better get on it because they're very, very good. Almost as good as your game.
Well, I suck at TikTok. I'm not very, I can't seem to get it working in the right way. But one thing about Asia as well that I think is impressive is how she's used her voice. There are 2 articles in particular that she put out. One was a letter to young black girls just about, you know, some of the challenges growing up in South Carolina and how she had to stay strong through some issues of race growing up, and encouraging young black girls to have pride in who they are in this world. But also, more recently, she wrote an article on mental health and how she's had some challenges in that space and been able to overcome. So we've also seen more vulnerability from Asia Wilson, her willingness to kind of talk about some of her challenges, but also just serves as a big inspiration.
Being so open about those challenges, you look at someone like her, so much talent, looks like she has, you know, just the world wrapped around her finger, but dealing with things off the court and the bravery to talk about it. But boy, she is so much fun to watch. She's fun to watch come out and warm up. She's dancing around, having a good time, and then backs it up. You said, you know, a couple of games ago against Minnesota did not play well. She is more than made up for that, I would think, today. A statue of her now outside of the arena at the University of South Carolina. She was so emotional talking about that, how members of her family, as a Columbia, South Carolina native, used to have to walk around the campus. They weren't even allowed to walk on the campus because they're black, and now she's got a statue.
I mean, it is transformative. Not only what Asia Wilson did at South Carolina, what John Staley continues to do there. In particular, looking at the history that you just talked about.
And Dawn Staley, the U.S. Olympic head coach. First time she's going to be in charge of an Olympic Games coming up in Tokyo. Remember, we have the All-Star game for you Wednesday night. Team USA against the other WNBA All-Stars. Speaking of South Carolina, Ty Harris misses. Boy, Dallas has now missed 15 of its last 19 shots. And they have fallen into an abyss, down 15. Plum. That's another foul. Collier holding Wilson. So that is 2 fouls on Charlie Collier. Izzy Harrison has 4. Sabali has 3.
I mean, the thing about Las Vegas is they're so physical and they play with so much force, particular on the offensive end. I mean, they come at you full speed, and if you don't have your matchups right, if you're not turned in transition defense, ready to guard, if you are not in position, they're going to make you pay.
And by my math, which should never be trusted, Asia has drawn at least 10 fouls on Dallas Wings players. Allery picked up one, the multiple ones we just talked about with the other 3 players. So our Google Did You Know, presented by Google, was who has had the most WNBA All-Star appearances. And you were right on both counts.
Yeah.
It's Sue, and she did break Ketchum's record. Taurasi also with 10. Tina Charles, along with Diana and Sue, will be in the All-Star game and also representing Team USA.
It's not easy to be named an all-star in this league. I'm telling you, it is stiff competition.
It's not easy to make a roster in this league. It's only 144 jobs. Another foul. Key dates coming up Wednesday. We talked about it. USA versus Team WNBA. We'll have that for you from Vegas on ESPN. The Olympic break begins technically after today as far as games are concerned, but definitely after the All-Star game, and August 11th it ends, and then the second half gets underway. And boy, what a second half of the season we can all anticipate. Seattle looking to be like the cream of the crop, with Vegas atop the standings. We await some players who have been injured, who will get an extra month to rest and then come back.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half as teams get healthy. That's the part of it.
Yep.
And as we get some players back from their national team responsibilities as well that haven't even made an appearance in the league so far this year.
Aces hold on to the ball. They were down by 5 after the first quarter. Plum, Hamby off the bench, and now the rest of them really picking it up, and Dallas has struggled to find their offense. Plum, got it. Her first points of the second half after draining 11 all in the second quarter. Great hustle by Plum to keep it in bounds. And she looked over at Jackie Young, who put up a finger. Let's play for one shot with a shot clock off. Plum just getting by Huir. Park with the shot. Probably not what they would have drawn up, but Las Vegas takes a 76-59 lead into the fourth quarter.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA, presented by Google. Here with Mariah Jefferson of the Dallas Wings. And Mariah, you came into that third quarter and gave them such a lift with 8 points. What was the sense of urgency you entered the game with?
We want to win, you know, and they came out, they hit us first, and we have to make sure we're coming out being aggressive. So if I had an open shot, just shoot and try to knock it down.
You guys have had to struggle a little bit defensively here, containing Asia Wilson. What are the keys there? Because so many people picking up foul trouble because of her.
Yeah, we got to help faster. We're letting her be too comfortable. We got to help down, get in her space, and help our post guard her a little bit.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
And you see the bench points, mostly Plum and Hamby. But Mariah Jefferson with 8 points in that second quarter. She had 8 of Dallas's 17 points, but they continue to be outscored. Last 2 quarters outscored by 21 points. Pam Ward and China Robinson. And you just saw Holly Rowe joining you here from Arlington, Texas. And now Satu Sabally heads to the free throw line. She has not hit a field goal today. Take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Tonight on CBS Sports, it's Stewie and BG, the Storm and the Mercury at 6 Eastern. Then Wednesday, the WNBA All-Star Game on ESPN. Coverage starts there at 7 Eastern from Las Vegas.
Now, Pam, I want to go back to that graphic we were looking at with the All-Star appearances. Great cut there by Hamby for the score. But Tina Thompson and Lisa Leslie are going to be co-coaches of Team WNBA in the All-Star Game. So those are a couple names on that list and a couple names that will be a part of the All-Star legends.
Yeah, definitely legendary players. Bella Oury able to get inside. 7 points for Bella. That ties her career high in scoring. Asia Wilson just wouldn't roll in. We got a little triple-double watch for Asia. 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists.
I mean, what a stat line. Just an incredible showing from Wilson.
And 3 blocks to go along with that. Boy, Sably getting a clinic today with this matchup against Wilson. Gumbawale.
Well, she is having to work for any space at all. Vegas doing such a good job on Enrique, just sending 2 defenders at her, not allowing her to get past the shoulders. I mean, right here, look at Wilson containing on the back. I mean, even giving Enrique the impression that there's no space to operate is part of their defense.
And that was a travel call on the pass. There's another one, back-to-back travel calls, and Asia gave a demonstration to Danielle Scott, the official who did not make the call, but it was fancy footwork according to Asia and not a travel.
And Dallas in arena, right on time. Walk it like I talk it. Appropriate.
Wilson 7 assists, a new season high, and just one off her career high. Enrique. Enrique Gumbawale's streak of scoring in double figures is in jeopardy. Still has time left, but just 7 points for Enrique. She has scored in double figures in 57 straight games.
She actually struggled the last time these two teams met. She was 2 for 12, but she did have 8 assists. So she found a way to have an impact. She had 11 points, 8 assists. But you could say that Vegas has had her number.
As for more on Enrique's struggles, let's go over to Holly.
Well, I think there's a reason that Enrique struggled in the 2 matchups with the Aces, and that reason is Raquana Williams. She is playing fantastic defense matched up with Enrique Gumbawale. Raquana grew up in Pahokee, Florida, where it's very famous that they have sugarcane fields there, and they get paid to chase the rabbits out of the sugarcane fields. She said, I got my defensive prowess and my speed chasing those rabbits in the sugarcane fields, and she's chasing a pretty quick rabbit here today, and Enrique doing a really nice job.
The defense of Williams is something that I didn't pay much attention to it coming into this season, but she has been put in position with this Vegas Aces team, especially with Bill putting an emphasis on that end of the floor, and has started to really make a name for herself as a defensive stopper.
Yeah, certainly earlier in her career known for her scoring. We mentioned that 51-point game that was a WNBA record for a while. Training by chasing rabbits. Here's Plum at the line. She was fouled by Sably, who's just picked up her 4th for Dallas.
And when you boil down Dallas's defense and where it has not been effective, 46 points in the paint for Vegas with still 7 minutes left to go in this game. And that's a high percentage shot every time.
Plum now with 16. Gumbawale bothered by Williams again.
Yeah, she can get her shot off quick, but Williams is forcing her to get her shot off faster because she's great at recovering to contest.
Enrique has missed 11 of her 14 shots this afternoon. Hamby driving on Sably, playing with 4 fouls, a little fade away. She's got some tools in that bucket, huh?
I don't know how many times in WNBA history we've had a player off the bench named to the All-Star team. But it's impressive. And the thing about Hamby is she's always said, you know, starting doesn't matter to me. She said, I know that when the game is on the line, Bill trusts me to be in the game, and that's what matters most in key moments.
Hamby on the All-Star team that will be playing in Vegas against the U.S. Oh, Alry with a new career high in scoring. Just drew the foul on Kia Stokes. 5th overall pick last year. 3-time Ivy League Player of the Year at Princeton. First time she's been in double figures in her young career. Soo Park, who is going to play for South Korea in the Olympics. Passing it back out. Raquana Williams can still score. She says, yeah, I can play defense, but I can still do this.
They used to call her the microwave.
Yeah.
Come in ready to hit shots.
Umbawale lost her footing. Boy, Sabali. Not a great day. 5 points, 0 for 9 from the line, or from the floor, pardon me. That's a travel on Hamby. Vegas taking over as we take a timeout. Dearica Hamby's team up big.
Welcome back to Dallas. The Aces up on the Wings, 86-69. We'll be sure and watch the Sports Humanitarian Awards tomorrow night on ESPN. The Atlanta Dream are nominated for the most amazing team. They are one of the teams that were very public about one of the team's owners that spoke out against the WNBA's support of the Black Lives Matter movement. They became heavily involved in voter registration drives opposing the very person that employed them. Their efforts garnered support from across the league and led to historic change in our political landscape. We could say they helped flip the Senate with the election of Reverend Warnock, and Renee Montgomery will be on hand. We'll see if the Atlanta Dream win that Sports Humanitarian Award. I know they have done such great work in the country for that this year.
It is beyond impressive what Atlanta did, Holly, and I know you had front row seats to everything in the bubble in 2020 with the WNBA around social justice. But I mean, what a time, you know, for your owner to be a part of a group that you felt like was speaking out unfairly against a cause that you believe very strongly in Black Lives Matter. And the strength and courage that it took those women to really stand for what they believed, I can't even imagine. And they would be very deserving if they are to win that award.
The Sports Humanitarian Award, they are nominated along with the Denver Broncos, the New York City FC of the MLS, and the Toronto Blue Jays. That's the competition, but boy, that's a summer that I think most of us will never forget. What happened down in the bubble with COVID, but mostly all of the social justice issues that went on in 2020. It was extraordinary. And yeah, Holly had a front row seat, and that was a very special time.
And it's become really a defining moment for this league. And yes, 2016 in Minnesota was sort of when people started paying attention to what these women were doing around social justice. But 2020, unreal. The amount of education that was taking place in Bradenton and how the WNBA was enlightening so many people to the women victims of police violence, along with so many other things.
Jackie Young fouled by Sabali. Young really having a good second half.
The Vegas transition, when you have so many players on the floor, so many weapons, it's tough to guard, tough to decide where you want to load up, difficult to figure out where the priorities are.
Jackie Young has a dozen points here in the second half, just 2 in the first half, make it 13.
And also wanted to say congratulations to Lasia Clarendon, who is nominated for the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award. Has been very outspoken about a lot of different issues around gender identification, being open about being an athlete in the trans world. She is just a very powerful voice.
WNBA has a social justice committee, or council, pardon me, and Lasia on that. You see the other members, and we have two of them in our game today, Satu Sabali and Asia Wilson. And how about Sabali? You mentioned she should be a rookie. I mean, a kid on that council.
Oh yeah, I mean, and really did her part. And Lasia, to go back to that really quickly, is actually the WNBA's first openly non-binary and transgender player.
2:59 left to go. Vegas with a healthy lead.
The WNBA on ABC is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. In part by AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure. And American Express. See all that you can expect when you're with Amex.
Elevated moments presented by American Express. De'Erica Hamby elevating things.
It's De'Erica Hamby Day in Dallas. She came off of the pine and was just assertive, looking for her shot. Her versatility is what makes it tough to guard. When she steps on the court, either at the 3 spot or the 4 spot, she can shoot it from the outside. When her 3 game is on, she is most dangerous, but she's got the toughness and the physicality on the interior to match up with anyone in this league.
She's got a double-double today, as does Asia Wilson. Carly Collier gets the score. With Hamby in, Las Vegas outscored Dallas by 20 points. With her out, they were in the -1 category, so affecting both sides of the ball. Nice. Second half continuing for Jackie Young. And Destiny Slocum is in now, number 24 in red, the rookie out of Arkansas, the last of her 3 stops in college ball after Maryland and Oregon State. And her head coach is in the building tonight, Mike Neighbors, who not only coached her, but coached Chelsea Dungy, who is on the bench for Dallas, and, trivia question, Kelsey Plum at the University of Washington.
Making those connections. Absolutely. Coach Neighbors in the crowd. How fun is his Arkansas team to watch on the offensive end of the floor? They play with a lot of pace. Dungy was exceptional in her play, and Vicki Johnson feels good about her future.
Yeah, Dungy taken 5th overall, fastest to 1,000 points in Arkansas history. Kelsey Plum was the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history at Washington, with Neighbors as her head coach. WNBA's 25th anniversary season celebration continues with the All-Star game at Mandalay Bay Event Center in Vegas. USA basketball national team versus the WNBA All-Star. Coverage starts Wednesday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And it's also on the app. Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray going to play on the Team USA. The All-Stars will have, from this game alone, Liz Cambage not playing. She's in Vegas already. De'Erica Hamby, Arike Agumbawale, and Satu Sabali. That is going to be fun.
Yeah, but a lot of basketball happening in Vegas. The men's national team, the women's national team will be there soon for U.S. Australian national team, WNBA All-Star game. Vegas is hot.
Literally and figuratively.
I think he said that the other day, but it's always hot, so.
Always.
What a game from Mariah Jefferson.
Yeah, right. There have been some bright points here for Dallas.
And she's one of them. And she has been this season. I mean, we're talking about a player that had to fight to get healthy. I mean, she has had injury upon setback, but she's a warrior and has really thrived in Vicki Johnson's system. And again, every lead guard that steps on the floor for Dallas gives them something different. She gives them steadiness and really has a calming presence about her, but as we've seen today, can be aggressive when called upon.
14 points for Jefferson, 10 of them in the second half. Here's Park on the South Korean national team. Did not play last year. 11 starts a couple of years ago for Vegas. I also want to clean up that Arike Ogunbowale has hit double figures, hit a 3 minute or so ago to get to 10 points. So her consecutive game streak of scoring in double figures is still alive and now stands at 58 in a row. That's another bright spot. I love Alicia Gray.
And Dallas has not shot the 3 as well today as they have this season, and that's been a challenge, only shooting 28% from long range. But again, they can really score. The fact that they only have 70 points in this game is a testament to what Vegas came in and did on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is a team that averages 86 points per game. Vegas leading the league in scoring, is over their season average today.
It has been a frustrating afternoon for Arike Ogunbowale from the field.
Yeah, Ogunbowale, 4 of 19 from the floor. Sabally 0 for 10. That's some good work. Take a look now at our clutch plays. Brought to you by Clorox. Asia Wilson, almost a triple-double.
Yeah, I mean, she's been clutch in a time where Vegas just lost back-to-back games. This is one they really felt like they had to have headed into the break, and Asia Wilson set the tone with her aggressiveness on both ends of the floor. There really wasn't a matchup that could guard her or give her any trouble or even make her uncomfortable. Just short of that triple-double, as you mentioned. I mean, the assists, the delivery, all of it. And now she's just chilling with her legs crossed on the bench.
2 seconds to shoot here as Gray gets ready to send it in. Wilson, 22 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks. Not bad. Hamby, 22 points, 12 rebounds off the bench. So there's a couple of double-doubles right there. 44 points and 25 rebounds between Wilson and Hamby. And Vegas hands Dallas its worst loss of the season as they take it 95-79. What a way to go into the break. Asia Wilson, we will see her in the All-Star game on Wednesday and then in Tokyo. But Vegas, even without Liz Cambage, boy, they are a force to be reckoned with.
All of the balance of Vegas. They can score in multiple positions. Their toughness on defense, #1 in scoring, #1 in field goal percentage defense. When you can do it on both ends, you're a dangerous team.
And how about Asia Wilson and Ty Harris exchanging jerseys, the former teammates at South Carolina?
Gotta love it.
Holly Rowe has De'Erica Hamby.
Well, De'Erica, you guys were actually trailing in this game, down 5 when you enter the game in the second quarter. How did you come in with the mindset to impact and change the course of that game in that moment?
Just me and Plum coming in. We know we got to run in transition, pick up the energy on defense, try to get easy baskets, and that's usually what gets us momentum to going.
You were coming off back-to-back losses for the first time all season. How crucial was it to get back to a win before you take the long All-Star break?
Yeah, we weren't happy with those games, so it was nice to get some good momentum and get some wins going into the break.
You're an all-star. We don't know how many times a bench player has been an all-star. How important is it to show out and show up in Las Vegas on Wednesday night?
It's going to be fun. My first one. My entire family's coming. I'm excited to represent our team and just have a good time.
All right. We'll see you in Vegas.
Thank you, Holly.
Today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pam.
Yeah, thank you, Holly. De'Erica Hamby and her daughter Amaya certainly going to be on hand. Hamby and the rest of the Aces with an impressive 95-79 win over Dallas. For Holly Rowe and LaChana Robinson, I'm Pam Ward. As we say, so long from Dallas. Big win.